Welcome to the Bastrop Podcast. Real people, real stories, all from right here in Bastrop, Texas. I'm your host, Matt Walker, a local business owner, realtor, and entrepreneur with Wisdom House Realty Group and Bastrop Drone and Media Company. We sit down with the locals, shaping our community, from the mayor's office to Main Street shops, and bring you the voices behind the town we call home. Good morning, everybody. I am sitting down with Jeff and Greg. How are you two doing?
Doing
Fantastic.
well. Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. So for our listeners who may be meeting you for the first time, would you each introduce yourselves and share a little bit about your families, your story, and what connects you to Bastrop?
So my name is Jeff Connor and have a family of 6. I've got 4 kids still living at home, 2 grown adults. I started out actually in Bastrop as a Academy Sports and Outdoors store director. Worked there for 15 years. I opened the store actually here in Bastrop, which then brought me to Bastrop. And then I met my wife, and then we got married, and here we are staying in Bastrop.
Love it. What about you?
I'm Greg Hoffman. I have been in and around Bastrop my whole life. Born in Austin, lived in Elgin for a while, and then my mom married my stepdad. We moved to Smithville, and then that family started growing. We moved to Cedar Creek, and so I've kind of been all around Bastrop for my whole life. Currently, my wife and I just celebrated 3 years of marriage just a few months ago.
Congratulations.
And then just this past January had 2 years where we've been living in our home in Tahitian. So, Bastrop locals through and through.
That's awesome. I love to hear it. So for someone hearing about the Bridge for the first time, how would you describe it? What is the mission and who is it designed to serve?
So the Bridge is a community for 18 to 30-year-olds to what we always say is grow closer in their relationship to God and closer in their relationship with their community. So it's really just designed to be a place where young adults can grow in community and grow in their relationship with the Lord. Yeah. Is that?
Yeah, I mean, that's a fair statement. I mean, it is designed to help bridge that gap, from that high school graduate to being involved in the church body and navigating life.
Nice. When and where do you guys gather each week, and what can someone expect from a typical night at the Bridge?
Yeah, so the Bridge meets every Thursday night at Calvary Baptist Church of Bastrop, which is where we're at right now. And the doors open at 6:45. We start right at 7 and we go until about 8:30. It's an amazing time for them to be able to gather, to hear a message. Then we do breakouts, and just a great time for them to gather and socialize and get to know other young adults in the community.
Yeah. Kind of basic Thursday night flow is teaching, small groups, fellowship. That's kind of our weekly goal.
So beyond the weekly gathering, what other events, worship nights, or opportunities do you guys offer throughout the year?
Yeah, so we offer quite a variety of things. We have social nights that his wife Casey puts on, which are absolutely amazing.
She does a great
She goes
job.
all out. Like we did a Wheel of Fortune night where she's got a big giant Wheel of Fortune wheel that spins. And I mean, it's never low key. It's
She
always,
doesn't do anything halfway.
Yeah. She always goes all out with prizes and all kinds of things. She's amazing. So yeah, social nights. And then we have some very specific worship nights that we do. Sometimes those are here at CBC, and then sometimes we went to worship in the park at Fisherman's Park, and then this past week we were at the Gathering in Bastrop and did a worship night there. So yeah,
That's awesome. Nice. So how did the Bridge first come together, and what needs or burdens gave rise to it?
Oh man, I'm going to have to tell this story forever and ever until I go home to see the Lord.
That usually is how it works. There's a story.
The Bridge really came about. He's too humble to say it, but it was Jeff's vision. It was Jeff's really laid on his heart. And he came to me and said, I think we should do like a young adult ministry. Like, I think that, the community needs that. Like there's something missing for that demographic. And I very specifically was like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if there's a need for that. I don't know if there's a desire for that in Bastrop, but sure, I'll be along for the ride. I'll help teach. Like I will help support it and be a part of whatever this looks like. And I am so very proud to say that I'm eating those words. I'm eating those words every single time I have to tell this story, and every single time that I go to the Bridge and see a consistent, faithful group of young adults who very obviously this was a need. And it was really because this guy had it laid on his heart to start a young adult ministry. So
Yeah, I think that tends to be a thing that I feel like happens a lot just to people in life in general. Like, somebody come up and like, I don't know about that, but sure, let's give this a shot and see what happens. And then you end up eating those words.
Yes, most definitely.
That's always, I think, a very common thing that people can feel. And I'm also very glad to hear that you are eating those words as much as, that's fun. Yeah. As you look ahead, what do you hope the Bridge becomes in the years to come?
Yeah, I mean, we hope to be that young adult ministry in Bastrop County that young adults know that they can go to not just get deeper in God, but also to meet other believers and build relationships, lasting relationships in this community. And so our hope is that we continue to just keep doing what God has asked us to do and reach those young adults who need to build those relationships, not just with God, but with others.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to say from like a tactical standpoint, what the Bridge is going to look like, because neither one of us have really held very tightly onto what the formula is or where or when or what day or whatever. Like I think that really the biggest desire is just to see young adults not drop off. Yep. Like statistically, most people leave the faith when they leave home. They turn 18, they go and they get sucked up into whatever it is that the world has. And so if we can just kind of help bring that statistic down just a little bit, then I'll say we've done our part. Where that is, what time, what night, whatever, that is largely irrelevant. This is what we're working with now, and it's obviously seems to be working. And so if that should change, then we'll change to meet that challenge. But yeah, that is the goal, is just to help see young adults have lasting life change through Jesus.
Yeah, and I definitely think there's, that demographic that's here. There's a ton of young people moving out this way. You think historically a smaller town, you'd think like, oh, we're gonna like go off to college and move out and move into Austin or whatever. But because there's been so much growth happening in Bastrop, you're getting a lot of young families coming through. You've got neighborhoods that are designed for young people coming through. And I think that you guys are at a really good opportunity point where you're at right now. So I'm excited to see it just continue to grow and flourish from that.
Yeah.
Can you share one meaningful example, in honoring their privacy if needed, of how the Bridge has impacted someone's life?
Oh, man. I would assume that him and I are probably thinking of maybe the same person.
Probably.
But
there's a few.
There's a few.
There's one that hits probably closer to home than,
Yeah, I'll share a different one. I'll let you share about him. There's a young girl who, she was in our youth group for many years. And then when she graduated, she just kind of really not knowing what life was going to be like and her direction for life. And so spending time with her, coming to the Bridge and her meeting different people and really starting to choose to engage, right? And that's the biggest piece, is like, you can attend all things, you can attend church, you can attend this meeting or whatever the case may be. But if you're not actually engaged in anything, you're not going to see the fruit of that relationships or any of that. And so she finally, when she really started to engage, things started really changing. And actually last year, she actually got to come on as an intern for us at the church. And this year we're working on another kind of internship program. And hopefully by the end of it, she will kind of be able to walk away with what her calling is into ministry, because she does feel called into doing ministry. And so we're really excited to see these next steps for her. But we can see this crazy story from high school to now, and how far she's grown. And so we're super excited to see that.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, there's definitely a pretty decent bucket that we could pull from of people that we've seen had some major life impact. But one of the guys that we probably both thought of immediately was just to see, without getting into any of the details, just to see the growth in this person's faith from the first day they walked into the door to today, and growing in not just a kind of head logic understanding of Christianity and what faith looks like, but also to have it really kind of come alive in your heart and to live it out. Just super cool to see this guy go from, questioning and doubting. Not that questioning or doubting is bad. That's actually one of the things that I think we really pride ourselves on at the Bridge, is like, hey, you can bring your questions and you can bring your doubts and we can discuss these things and talk about well, what does God say about that? Whatever. But to go from that to just being trusting and on fire for the Lord, and even a step further than that is leading his marriage well and leading his family well and in a very godly way. It's just been super, super cool to see. And there's a few of those guys and girls, So yeah, it's been super cool to see. Very frustrating at times, but very fulfilling when you get that aha moment.
Yeah, I've got to imagine that's pretty cool to be at maybe not the center, but just involved in a lot of transformation for a lot of people. Or I guess partial transformation for some people who might not have been growing up. And then for others, just that ability to continue to help them in their growth as they, like you said, when you leave the household, that's usually when most people decide to stop following, and to be able to like have that push, and then those newcomers who might not know anything and be able to answer those questions. That's really cool. Yeah. So what in your own personal journeys led you to this season of ministry and to invest in young adults in this way?
Well, like I said, he brought me into this, so I blame you.
I'll take that.
This is a next step, I would say, in really figuring out where the Lord is having me go on a personal level. And I'll rope my wife into this too, because when she and I got married, I had already been on staff at Calvary as the worship pastor. And I told her, life's a little different in ministry than it is if I was in like a secular job or, just kind of a 9-to-5, whatever. And so, we have to be in this together. And so it's been an interesting journey of figuring out where God would have me go as an individual, but us go as a couple too. And seeing her really invest in a lot of our young adult ladies in particular, I feel like, quite honestly, my role here at the Bridge is much more hands-off than it maybe once was. Obviously still involved, still teaching and things like that, but kind of like you said just a second ago, it's like I'm not having the most direct involvement with these young adults. I'm having involvement with leaders who are having involvement with young adults. Like that guy I was talking about, he baptized someone last week. And it's like, hey, this is your thing. You're the one who invested in that relationship. I don't know who this person is. And so it's been a really weird, for me as a very tactile, tangible person, I like to get things done. It's very strange kind of stepping back and going, you got this. Y'all are investing in these relationships. Y'all are the one who are helping people grow closer to Jesus, and I just help you help them. So
yeah, for me, it was, I knew as someone who was an older person at 41, I knew exactly what it was like to leave high school and not really know where you fit in from a church standpoint. It was like everybody was so hands-on with you through youth group. Then it was like, oh, you're graduated, you're 18, join the church.
Yeah.
How? Who? Where do I go? All those things. And so I really wanted to help make sure that young adults felt like they were part of the church. You're part of something much bigger than just this local context, but how do we fit into this local context and this congregation here? And so my heart just always has been, how do I help do that? And they have done, some of the things about teaching, right? You teach and you seem to just gain more knowledge, right? And so being a part of it, and they have poured so much into my life, I've learned so much from them. Him and I have just grown like crazy in friendship. And, super thankful for him. And we've just bonded over these years of doing this ministry together. I remember telling him, like, bro, I don't know what it looks like, but I know that you and I are supposed to do ministry together.
Yeah.
And I don't know exactly in what context, but I know we're supposed to do ministry together. And so it's just been amazing to see those relationships grow.
Misery loves company. No, it's been good. It's been good.
If you had 60 seconds to impart some words of wisdom to our listeners, and it can be about the Bridge or your other ministries or anything at all, what would you want to let them know?
Oh my goodness.
I was asked this question. The Bridge did a media thing where it was like, get to know your leaders, right? And they were like, get to know Jeff. And one of the questions was similar to this question. I was like, what would you tell your younger self? And I was like, don't do it. Whatever it is, just don't do that. And so, I don't know. I mean, I would say get plugged in. Don't just watch life go by. Engage in life. Find a group of believers or a group of friends that can lead you towards the Lord, but get plugged into life. Otherwise, you might wake up and you're 40 years old and you're like, I don't know what's going on. Yeah. And so engage in life.
And I feel like Bastrop, you can, not even just like church life, but just life in general, you can probably go through and not really engage with anybody. But churches and local community and everybody, like if you decide to make that switch and get to know people. Everybody here is super friendly. Like,
Yeah.
no matter who you're running into, if you make that conscious effort to like, hey, I'm not going to just go to my work, go home, go to the store, and that's life, but do more with it, you're going to get welcomed with open arms pretty much anywhere you go.
Well, and it's funny because as Bastrop grows more and more, I think that's why, not to like toot our own horn, but that's why places like the Bridge are so important, because it gets easier to just, work, home, DoorDash, repeat, And so if you're not having these intentional spaces for connection, it can go by just so quickly.
So what about yourself? 60 seconds of wisdom to pass along.
Well, you can't ask a pastor to do anything in 60 seconds.
Put a time limit on it.
Man, I think that it's hard because I could give all sorts of financial advice or, go here, do that, But I think that one of the biggest things is that we all know life gets hard sometimes, it's good sometimes, like it's the roller coaster of life. And the biggest thing I would say is just put your trust in God. Like that's always easy to do when things are good and, the bank account's full and the car's full of gas or whatever, whatever. Like it's easy to trust God when things are good, but making a practice of putting your trust in God and thanking Him for all of His provisions in the good moments and in the bad moments is something that I think has gotten at least me through a lot of more difficult times in my life, because it's like, nope, God is good. He's gotten me through this and this, and I know that He's going to get me through this. Because I think that unfortunately, a lot of people in like bridge age generation that we're trying to reach, we forget things so quickly. It scrolls past your Facebook feed and it's off your brain, you know what I mean? And so, I don't know. Pull up that memory of what God did in the past and just trust Him as things get good and as things get bad, because He's got it. And He's got you. So that's probably what I'd say.
I like it. It's good. Good words. Anything that we didn't discuss that you guys wanted to mention?
I'd invite any listener, like if you're here and you're in that 18 to 30 range, come to the Bridge, come check it out. We really try to be as just open to anyone and everyone. We say it all the time. I don't care what church you go to. I don't care where you are in your faith. This is a place to grow and learn and make relationships. And so come check it out Thursday nights. We're on all the social medias and things, so you can go there and get more information, but probably be my big thing. Just plug it.
That's good.
And that leads us to the last question. How can people reach out to you guys?
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, through social media, but we meet here every Thursday night. Doors open at 6:45. We start right at 7 at Calvary Baptist Church. And so, through social media or just showing up. I mean, that's the easiest ways to get in touch with us.
What's your social media tag?
The Bridge Bastrop. And we also have an app that you can search on App Store, Google Play Store. And that has all the updates on when and where all the things are. So, Bridge Bastrop.
Awesome. Well, gentlemen, I thank you so much for joining me today. This has been a great conversation and getting to know more about you guys and more about the Bridge and just what you guys have been able to do for that kind of key demographic in Bastrop. So I'm excited to see you guys continue to flourish and keep doing what God has called you guys to do.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you for having us. Appreciate you
guys.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for listening to the Bastrop Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, follow us on Instagram at Bastrop Podcast and share it with a neighbor. We're here every week with new conversations from people who make Bastrop feel like home. Got someone you think we should interview? Reach out. We'd love to hear from you.